How we doing today, man? Guess we're gonna do a little live recording here for the YouTube. I didn't post yesterday. I just didn't take a trade yesterday. Our Tradeovate accounts. I was waiting for the funds to hit my account, and they haven't hit my bank account yet, but they're on the way. So that'll be another like 2 or so days. But they removed the balance from my account, so that $500 payout is on the way, which is pretty. I'm stoked about that. Gonna just go back to trying to get some base hits on these accounts, try and build them back up to the buffer in another 8 days, another payout period, take another $1,500 payout. I mean, that's kind of the goal, is have these accounts just be like a cash cow, just keep bringing consistent payouts now, right? We have a good situation. We've paid off the accounts by getting the payout. We've made profit. We made about $1,000 profit on these accounts. And let's just keep it going, right? The more ROI we get, the more payouts we get, the better we do. I am waiting for Apex to drop a 90% off sale, and I am hammering buys on those. I'm buying as many accounts as I can. Project X was down yesterday, so the balances remain the same. It feels like we haven't traded in forever. It's really just been since Friday. But even then, on Friday, we didn't take anything crazy. I can't actually remember. Oh, no, we took a nice trade. We took some nice trades. So we feel like we haven't traded in a while. There's this big gap on Project X. I'm going to figure out right now if Project X is down or not. But yeah, since Project X has been down, it was a good time to cop some My Funded Futures accounts. I want to get some My Funded Futures accounts soon because they're doing a nice promo here. Let's see. Make sure I don't leak my login info. They're doing a nice promo here where you actually get a big payout boost in terms of. Here we go. Let's see. Here it is. So right here, making sure I don't have any. Okay, you can't see any info. Right here, the core plan. Right now, oh, they actually took it away. Still a really good plan, but they had, if you would have got accounts the other day, you would have been able to get a $3,000 payout. So market open's about to happen. I'm bullish right now, so I'm just going to wait for a sweep and then some sort of manipulation. That's really the game plan here. So we have London low, I believe right here as well. So London low, which did not sweep this internal low. So there's SMT there. And then we have the Asia high. So pretty simple bias. Just wait for some sort of entry confluence to go long. Or, right, sweep these highs and look for a short because we only went up yesterday. So a really mixed bias, though, realistically, but I would rather play longs. I'd rather see 930 manipulate lower and then get longs higher. So you're really not much to analyze on the charts here. Just going to have a nice live trading session. So, yeah. We inverse this 4 hour. We've been pushing up weekly, right? If we do roll over, we'll probably just leave these all-time highs. But this was a pretty crazy range that we left. I would expect us to revisit at some point, but this is a pretty nasty drop. So the market doesn't ever have to pull back another 5% in all reality. So ES is a lot further away from these highs. So if we do put an SMT here, then maybe I'd play shorts. But if you tried to play shorts yesterday, you got burnt for it. So I'm going to be careful. Again, trying to just treat my Tradeovate accounts, these accounts, I want to just treat these accounts as if a live account because I have it's basically an $1,000 cash account, right? Obviously, you can't make unlimited money. You have to play by the rules, but if I follow the rules, I can get paid. So I need to treat this account like it's a real live account. Same thing with any funded account, right? Treat it like you have a live account. You don't have to be scared to lose or scared to risk, but, you can make money from these accounts. So, play it smart, right? Like this account right here, we're basically break even. We have one of the winning days we need. We could more than easily get to that payout, So I'm not really loving the fact that we had this massive gap here, but I just have to kind of play different targets. And yeah, now we wait. So again, the bias is bullish, but we have to wait here and see what we shall get. I hit a nice little 3-mile run this morning. I've been trying to get back into running a little more consistently this recently. And one of the one of the things I was thinking about a lot while running today was we have these quad equal highs here in the 5 minutes. That's a nice draw on liquidity at some point. But I was thinking about the fact that, I've been so stressed out about trying to make trading work, trying to make more money trading, trying to keep getting payouts. I'm going to take this watch off. Try and keep getting payouts. This is obviously not a sponsor, but Core's Pace 3, I think. This is the watch I'll be running with. It's pretty solid. But anyways, I've been thinking about how, I just want to make more money trading, get more YouTube subscribers, get more affiliate code usage, right? Stuff like that. And how can I make more money? How can I do this? And what I did today was I ran without music for the first time in a while. I'm a big music proponent when I try and run. I really like to listen to music. I like to be able to just get in my zone there and listen to some songs. And I'd even like to do that trading, but it's nice sometimes to not do that. And I didn't run with a friend today, so I just ran solo, no music, just did my thing, right? And a big thing that I kind of noticed from that today was this feeling of stress and trying to make more money and trying to do more and get more subscribers and all these different goals I have. And there's different goals I have. Like I want to get a van. I want to be able to build that thing out, to travel in it and trade full time from the van, live stream from the van, do fun stuff with that, make fun content. I have all these things. It's so overwhelming because like, how am I going to get the money to buy the van? Am I going to be able to consistently pay for the van, right? Am I going to be able to pay the monthly payment, right? Am I going to be able to provide enough, gas, insurance, food, repair? Am I going to be able to get the parts? All these different things. And that's just one section of life. And then it's, how am I going to really increase money? How am I going to invest my money? How am I going to save my money? How am I going to, all these different things in life that I want to do. And I was thinking, what a privilege it is to even be able to be stressed out about these things, right? I know where my next meal is. I know I'm not going to starve to death. I know for the most part, I'm healthy. For what I know, I'm healthy. I have a great family. I have good friends. I have everything that you could ever want in life, yet I stress myself out about things that are outside of my control. And one of the big things that kind of came to me during the run was, being stressed. And I brought up Matthew 6 before on this channel, and I really just love that passage in the Bible because it's just so good. It's does being stressed add any time to your life? Does it add a single hour to your life? And it just doesn't. So I don't need to be worried about these things I cannot control. Dude, this is like such a great pattern trade IFVG, but leaving those equal lows scares me. So I'm just going to leave this trade be. If we did get this closure, it's just a pattern trade, and I don't love it because, again, we just didn't sweep these lows. But it is a very good pattern. So it's kind of tempting. It's very tempting to want to take. But I think I'm going to pass it up. I don't even know if we'll get it, but I think I'll pass it up. So see, anyone that tried to take breakout longs here, or not breakout, but anyone that tried to play continuation long might get squeezed out of the market. We might run these triple quad equal highs. But let's see this 2 minute. If the 2 minute closes, I could give it an attempt depending on the stop loss, but I don't want to risk too much considering I do think it will lose. Okay, it's only a 20-point stop loss to make 25. For me, this isn't really worth it. I think that this is a fake out. We already have SMT. ES is going to run this high, and I think it'll roll over. So I'm not going to take this trade. This is a really nice pattern, though. Let's just take it on paper and trade it as if we were on paper. I'd probably want my stop at that candle low. We would take profit at this high, and we'd leave a runner. So we'd take a sell at this high, right here, and then we leave our runner to all-time highs. So that would be the trade. I don't like it. I'm not going to take it on my actual accounts. I just don't like it because ES is so high up, right? We're about to sweep it here, and I don't want to get into a trade here, and then it sweeps this high, and it's right here, and then I have to either go break even or take a loss. It's kind of frustrating. And we also have SMT with the 930 open price, so I do want to just see, let's see where we're at. We have this gap to fill. I do just think this is a lower quality trade. And again, this is the thing with trading I want to go back to being good at, which is just avoiding mid setups, right? This setup could work very, very, very well. It could work. And the real trick is when it does work out, if it does work out, getting no FOMO, saying, you know what, I didn't like that opportunity. I'm fine missing that. Because if it goes up, you think, oh my gosh, I missed the trade. I did the wrong thing. I should have taken this long. This was a great long. I missed out on this play, right? If it reverses from here out of nowhere, holds CE, inverses again, puts in an order block, runs up higher, go break even this high, you're going to think, why didn't I just take the long? I saw it. I saw this inversion, right? But this is just a trade where, yeah, we swept this low. But most of the time, we're going to send price lower, and we're going to trade back to these lows where I'd actually almost rather take a trade with strong closure here. I'd almost rather take a short than a long. But again, watch. This is the key. If we see this candle hold and we see it run up to all our draws and liquidity, I can't feel any type of way. I can't be disappointed. I can't be upset that I missed the trade because I didn't like the move live time. Any trade, at any moment in the market can go up or it can go down. So it's a 50-50. At the end of the day, it's a 50-50 chance. Not really, right? Not always, but like when you decide to not take a trade for whatever reason, be confident in that decision, because even if it goes in your direction, it doesn't matter, right? And this looks like it's going to flip really, really strong, and that's where potentially, right, this 2 minute would be a little bit of a good entry, right, depending on how we close, because then we'd have the ordered block and we'd have the rejection. But still, don't be worried about missing the trade because you made a decision that said, you know what, I don't like this look, even if it does go up. So ES is going to run this high. This is my theory here. I want to see what happens when we do run this high, if we do continue or not. And right now, it still just would be a lot of drawdown in this trade. We never really went positive. But again, it could still go up. And I need to make sure that if it does go up, I don't chase some stupid entry. I don't FOMO. I don't let it affect the rest of my day because I need to get back to disciplined trading, patient trading, smart trading. This is not a smart long, right? It could work. It's one of those trades that's like, oh, this could work, right? Because you never get into a trade that cannot work. I never get into a trade that cannot work. But this is a trade where I'm like, I don't really love this trade, but it could go up. I want to make money. And then boom, now you're sitting in drawdown. And again, we don't know the result yet of the trade, but it's not looking amazing, right? You'd have your stop probably at this candle low. Let's see if there's anything on like 30-second that you would use. There's nothing really here. You'd kind of just have your stop, this low here because it's the order block that sent price higher that tagged off of it. So it looks like this is going to end up being an L. But again, if this gets a strong closure above here, we can't get FOMO. The only reason why I get FOMO is because this 2 minute would be inverse with the order block, and ES would have higher, but you'd have to just go break even really soon, right? I'm just gonna be honest. If this thing flips really strong, I'm gonna want to enter, but I don't think it's the smartest decision. And I just have to trust my analysis of what I think is going to happen, which is I think we're going to get some strong push to run these quad highs, and then we're going to go lower. And then we'll continue the actual move the rest of the day when we have SMT at these lows. But I don't want to get involved in longs until we run these lows. So I'm going to mark out midnight open here now so we can... and I'm just going to close this position here. It doesn't matter to me on paper. I'm going to mark out midnight opening price. Okay, midnight open was here. This is midnight open. What a beautiful day it is. I don't have to coach soccer. I don't have to work today. I can just watch some Champions League soccer after this trading session. Beautiful, beautiful day. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. I really cannot wait for the Apex to drop 90% off. I really cannot wait. It's going to be nice. I'm going to stack probably a 3 minimum. Like, I'm going to have 3 more accounts minimum. But then potentially I want 6 to 9 accounts. And the reason for that is just because the more the merrier. I won't be copy trading them all at once. I am not ready for that. I'm absolutely not ready to trade 9 to 12 accounts at a time, but I'll trade them in sets of 3. So like I'll take an account for a week and I'll trade those sets of 3 for a week, and I'll trade the next set of 3, and I'll trade the next set of 3, and so on and so forth. I'll probably just trade each account each week with like at least one trade on the accounts I'm not trading for that week. But yeah, if you had a nice rotation, imagine you had a rotation of 9 or 12 accounts that you just cycled 3s, and then you just built them all towards a payout. So that's the goal there. So again, notice this, we've been generating some liquidity. We still have these highs on ES, so that's still nice because it means that we might have a draw on liquidity higher. Let me get this over here. We still have the draws on liquidity higher, but now we're running out the lows. So this is good. This is perfect. This is what I want to see. 930 manipulation. Kind of want to wait closer to that 945, 950 area in price, and then get a nice flip. So really happy to see that in price action. Let's see. chart out my ES account chart here. So good, right? Chasing longs here wouldn't have worked because we had these relative equal lows, right? So again, like I said, I would actually rather have taken a short when we started displacing. On this candle right here, you could actually taken a short to these lows. Although, I mean, that being said, it's a pretty 53 would be your target. 53. You're targeting like 10 points, but I guess you could just go break even then. You could have like a 15, you could be targeting like 25 points and you would have hit it. Could have just targeted like a set R, but I wasn't obviously involved in that trade, so it doesn't really matter to me. And we do have a lot of room to the downside as well, so we could displace a lot lower. But this is where we're just going to be patient and see. Like if we get a nice flip out of this area, this is exactly what I would expect. You see this millions and millions of times where you just you put in this just consolidation of price after a big push up and an uptrend. We've been chopping, we broke out, we've been an uptrend, right? We put in this consolidation. Let me find a better example. I don't really see like a perfect example, but I guess like here, you could see here, right? We've been in an uptrend, we're kind of putting this consolidation, we get a nice rejection. This, you can see clear rejection in the market and push this higher. So we still have the SMT in place, and we're starting to get those rejections off the low. So this would be the SMT. Right? And we're getting strong rejections off the low so far, but that doesn't mean anything until we get a strong push. This would be an IFEG I would be very willing to take. Very willing to take this. This is an A+ trade. The 2 minute, maybe wait for the 2 minute as well. Could even wait for the 3 minute. But this is a nice rejection wick right here on the 5 minute. Notice this, right? This is important if we do continue higher, right? If we just dump, it doesn't matter. But notice how we sweep these lows and get a strong rejection off of this wick and come higher. So we haven't fully rejected yet and gotten confirmation up, but this is a nice sign at first if we did get a confirmation up. So right now the 1 minute has held really well. And we could just be playing a trend day down, right? I have no control over the market. I can't make the market go up for me. ES, I don't need to see an SMT with ES because we have the highs above that give me confidence we want to go higher. So I actually don't mind seeing, right? I don't mind seeing ES come down and sweep this low here as well. Because that's a nice prominent low as well, which would be probably an hourly gap. Yeah, an hourly fair value gap, a 4 hour gap that we've already been into, but it's just a really nice drawn liquidity. It's probably a 30 minute as well. It's not a 30 minute, but it's an hourly, and it's just a swing low on the 5 minute. So we don't have to put in the SMT. We did just resweep the internal low, which is just always beautiful to see because it just manipulates anyone that tried to go long down there. It just stops them out, makes them wrong, and this is just, again, an A+ long still. Sometimes I feel like these types, like just waiting for these types of setups, it almost feels like it's too easy if it does work out, right? This is exactly the losses you want to take. These are the types of trades you want to take. This is exactly what I look for. So I have to be confident in that. Let's see what this stop loss would be. Probably going to go 1 micro on the Apex accounts. Just because I'm trying to just build these accounts back up. I want to take it slow. I want to keep these accounts for as long as possible. That's a very nice candle. You could probably enter off of that alone if you don't like trading off of inversions or yeah, if you don't like to wait for the inversions. I want to wait for this inversion for value gap just because right, it gives me more confirmation, but this is a really strong change of state delivery on the 1 minute to where you could expect some sort of flip. Right, but ES still could go lower, right? We can't control the market. We're a little bit choppy right now, and we might wait until closer to the macro. This is where I venture to say I'd go break even, but not 100% sure. We still have all of this low resistance liquidity right here to run. So yeah, I'm just really liking the look of this potentially. If we're gonna play to the downside, what I would do, the flip to the downside idea would be, I would need to see us just have legs below these lows, right? If we're gonna go higher, we're gonna just be shallow sweep SMT at below these lows, and we're gonna continue ripping. If we're looking bullet, or if we're looking really bearish, we'll probably just start breaking towards this fair value gap right here. And if we trade down here, it's probably off the table for longs for the day, I would say, and I'd venture to say I probably don't get a setup. So we have internal SMT here at these lows. That doesn't mean too much to me, but just something to keep my eye on. Now just waiting for a potential flip. Right, reason I would go 1 micro here is just because it's a 30-point stop. Anything under 25-point stop, I'd probably go 2 micros. I just don't want to take a potential first loss and then be down like over 100, right? That's like 10%. So we're breaking lower. I'm going to double check if we have any news. No, that's not it. We have no real news this entire week, except for on Friday, but who knows if that even goes through with the shutdown. I'm not sure. So we continue to break lower. We don't have that SMT anymore, which is fine, but I now want to see us probably go a little bit lower here. See what we're rejecting off of on NQ here to see if there's anything prominent. I mean, we are in this, looks like 4-hour bearish imbalance that we couldn't break through. We could be wanting to trade into this unfilled 4-hour and then go higher. I actually don't mind that. 10 a.m. low, that actually would be fine, because then that would be SMT as well. So just a lot of potential here for good trades. Let's see if they entered my money into my bank account yet from because they said they were sending the funds. It'd be cool to see it hit the bank. So this is, again, really strong rejection. We don't have that SMT anymore. But yeah, still, if this fair value gap breaks, it looks very good. Has not hit my bank yet, but it should be here before the week. This looks really, really good. This looks really, really good. Again, you could enter off of this change in state delivery if that's how you vibe, but I don't want to do that. I want to wait. I want to wait for everything to be in my favor. But that could be the early entry. I might even just put in 1 micro order. Ooh, I don't like that spike right there. That could just be on the micros. I don't love that spike. I could enter 1 micro here. I think I'm going to do that on these accounts with the tight stop, because I want to just see it kind of go from here. We'll risk $50, right? And then we'll add to it if we get the change, if we get the inversion. We're not going to enter this trade yet on the Apex accounts because I want more confirmation, but just to get a better fill, right? If we get a nice strong close above here, I like this change of state. If we're gonna go higher, we're gonna go from here, so this should be low risk. But again, like, who knows? We could just be trending out or chopping today. But I like that entry for the first entry. We'll add 2 more to this position if we get a strong closure above. Want to see this fair value gap stay open, really, ideally, but it could come down here, the trade into that gap, and then push higher. But ideally, I would want to just see it stay open and get a strong push here. We get an order block. This would look really A+. This is a great loss to take. Really happy with this trade. could get this 2-minute inversion as well. Might be what I wait for to add, since I'm already in partial position. No reason to just enter the whole bag too early. But I'll definitely keep my eye on the 1 minute. Let's see, that's why I like to add in small position if I can, if I'm willing to risk that, because if it does rip here and just keep running, then you wouldn't get an entry. So really happy they just get in with smaller risk. Probably could have my stop a little bit tighter here if it wants to come down before going. And then it looks like we're going to get the 1 minute. What I could even do is just add one more micro on the 1 minute. I do want to see this 2 minute go. Let's see if we have a 5 minute. We do have a 5 minute gap that I need to see break. So I will enter this on the 5 minute. That will be when I add the rest of my position. So we're rejecting right now. I might just close this here to not take a big loss. But it is only 43 bucks. I want to see us go now. I wonder if we tagged on the... So we tagged on NQ, so we could bounce from here. This is where I need to see us bounce. The 5 minute gap here. 5 minute just closed out, so that's not really a great close on the 5 minute. We'll probably get stopped here, but that's fine. Okay, stopped out there. But again, that's perfectly fine. Really right size. Got in of like a third of our position size for the potential of a nice rip. And now we just gotta wait. Still the same idea. I think we're just generating some more liquidity. It could just be early. Definitely could avoid the loss by waiting for this inversion, but at the same time, I'm not really too worried about that loss at all. If we don't end up getting another trade, it's a very, very small losing day. Can't really get smaller than that. I'm always willing to go for that. And look for the same thing though here. Just get a nice flip out. We'd have this fair value gap now to inverse as well. So still looks solid for longs. We could again maybe we learn from this and say, hey, we wait for this the 10 a.m. low to get swept because yeah, we have this 10 a.m. low here from yesterday. That could get swept. That's a 4 hour, and then we could get a really nice strong push after. So but yeah, that loss is not going to affect me in the slightest. It's not going to determine my decision making in the slightest, right? Because I've accepted the risk on that trade, and more than happy to give that a stab. The price you have to pay, right, when you enter a trade. You can always lose. All right, we almost tagged the unfilled gap. I want to see us get down there. Yeah, swept out the low that I want to see it sweep as well. not like in love with leaving those equal lows, but or like the equal low with the 4 hour, but it is what it is. I can't control that, but I would have liked it to have swept that 4 hour body or candle low. Yeah, I just don't know if I could go long with equal lows on the 4 hour. But 10 a.m. is about to open, and we can manipulate lower, right? Lower into 10, put it in the bottom wick of the 4 hour, and then manipulate higher. But like I said, we could end up just being wrong about our bias today. And that's also fine too, right? No harm, no foul. So I'd rather this stay open before manipulating. But again, I would probably give this another stab if we get a strong inversion. Because, oh, we actually did sweep that low. Okay, that's actually good to know. So if we do, yeah, so we did sweep this low. That's actually good information. So the low of this candle is 11.75. The low of this candle is 11.50. So, okay, we actually did sweep that. So we don't have to resweep it. We could, right, because we'd manipulate the low of the candle, but this will still look good. So then go long. And then I'm looking for a nice play to enter my entire sizing on. So 10 a.m. is about to open here. If 10 a.m. starts chopping us, then I guess we'll just wait till the 11. Sometimes that's when the market's been really cooking. It's like the 11 o'clock hour. 9:30 opens, kind of just been a hunt liquidity early and then just chop around vibe. Okay, so the new 15-minute, 30-minute, hourly, and 4 hour just opened. Let's see what type of draws that opens up for us. The 30-minute, nothing really. We might just leave a fair value gap. Again, resweeping this low wouldn't be the worst thing to dig into this 30-minute more. The 15-minute, we have this unfilled fair value gap, so that's where I'd be like going break even. And we're coming back down here. Again, a strong V-shaped flip now. Now I need to really see strong confirmation, right? This was a good flip at first, but now I need to see real confirmation because, again, we're just showing this signature of it going lower. So I need to see a strong flip of this area here, a really strong like reclaim, if you want to call it that, where we get a really strong this, right? Like boom here, right? After sweeping this low potentially. And then really go for it. And then maybe add, if we get through this gap here, add some to the position. So definitely a lot of potential here, but we might just have to call it on that tiny stab. Kind of move on with our day here. That's why I like to kind of just move away from one trade a day and go to, being just making smart decisions, right? Doing stuff that makes sense, right? Taking a stab, willing to add to it if you get the proper confirmation. Not letting it, be a side, like $40 is $40. Like that's not gonna ruin anything. 10 o'clock is opening. We're manipulating lower on the hourly. Want to see it run that low now. But we still just wait, man. We still just wait. There's nothing screaming at us to take. All right, so we're just kind of putting in some frustrating chop here. We have SMT there with equal lows. If we get a really nice V shape, I kind of could look past that equal lows, to be honest with you. But we're in no rush. We're still respecting a bearish order block. We're respecting a bearish 5 minute. So definitely can learn from the loss, can avoid it. I mean, again, like it's really light size, really not concerned. I knew it was an aggressive early entry. I just need to be right with the bias for it to work. But we can definitely learn from that going forwards, right? What can we learn from it? Hey, the 5 minute rejected, and we're in bearish order flow. But the market has to flip at some point, so some people try and bottom and top tick. So there's no wrong way to trade. It's just learning and improvement and understanding. But I need to see some real kind of like confidence come into this market if I want to see it really go higher. I mean, I do like that that we generated like really good liquidity on ES. I mean, this is really, really solid draws. These highs, like I'd be surprised if we just leave these. But stranger things have happened. So we wait, and we wait for the market to tell us, hey, it's time to trade, right? There should be no nerves, right? I've been getting a lot more nervous recently trading, and there's no reason for that, right? Because there's no nervousness with trading. It's just it tells you what to do. The chart tells you what to do. You don't have to come up with anything. The chart will tell me when, hey, try this. I'm not saying it's gonna work, but try it. So kind of like going for a play call, man. You don't want to be stuck on fourth down. And you don't want to have the game on the line, but you got to draw up a play, right? And I'm not saying it's going to always work, but you got to go for it. And if it doesn't work, oh well, right? You can get the ball back, just play some defense, right? But if it does work, you still have the ball, right? So that's just kind of how trading is. It's like, you don't have to be nervous. Like it's fourth down, you don't have to be nervous. You train for this, right? You're ready for this. You have a play call designed for this. Like you know what you're doing. You have a game plan. Stick to the game plan. I get so nervous coming to the day, like, oh my gosh, am I going to make money? Am I going to find a trade? What am I going to do? I don't know what trade I'm going to take. The market hasn't even opened, man. You haven't even seen a candle print yet. How would you know, right? When you get nervous about the trading outcome or the day or what opportunities you're going to get before you even see them, that's you trying to force something into the market that's not even real, right? Like, how are you going to, like, of course you can be nervous and stressed out if you're trying to find trades that, haven't even taken place yet. Because it's not even happened, right? The market hasn't even told me, right? I don't know if it's going to get close up here, if it's going to go down the rest of the day. But it tells me that if we do get a strong close up here, probably nice low long opportunity. And if we don't, then it's not a good long opportunity. I wait for the market to tell me, right? We're just generating more liquidity like this, right? But if we get a strong closer here, it looks like we're breaking out of the liquidity, right? So this is another, I'll give this a stab. Probably go 2 micros to start. But we're not getting the closer, so cannot go for it. I want to see it as inverse this gap too on ES at the same time. I really can't wait for that 90% off an Apex though. Like it's actually insane. Gotta wait. Can't FOMO entry, right? Because if I FOMO just because it's right here, right, we can see a nasty wick come in and it roll over, right? I've learned my lesson FOMOing too many times. Wouldn't mind just seeing this close here. ES looks really good for a buy. I just don't ever take trades on ES. You could just be generating more liquidity, come down, sweep one last time, and then go. Right? This is why you don't chase this trade just because you see it printing above where you want to get in. You wait, right? This could just be a fake breakout, break back down to the downside. So good. Good thing I didn't enter early, right? I enter early right here, and then we get snapped down on it. And we could push up, but right, you didn't wait. Wouldn't it be a much nicer entry after you see this, right? You see this, boom, come down here and then close. Oh man, we rejected an order block. You have more confluence. Oh wow, we rejected this fair value gap. Oh wow, we rejected this order block. You know, like it's a lot more confluence than just getting in, chasing here, having a bad entry, seeing it drop all the way against you. Oh my gosh, I'm just getting stopped out, stressed out, and then boom, it's gonna run in your favor. And what are you gonna do? You're gonna cut the trade because you're so nervous, right? ES, this is a really good entry on ES. Just be patient, man. It's a patience game. That's all it is. Right? It's not taking unnecessary losses. Look at this 3-minute flip, man. You want to be involved in longs right now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely do not want to get involved in longs there. This is trading, man. This is why I like these live sessions, because this is real, you know? I don't sit on any, I'm not sitting for any call outs. I'm not watching any live trading. It's me and my own thoughts, me and my own opinions. And I do pretty well, right? I've gotten payouts. Every payout I've gotten has been from me, myself, and I. Every single trade I've placed to get those payouts was me, right? And that's a skill, right? I've been building this skill. And this is like the reality is that sometimes you show up and it's not fun all the time. Right? It's not always fun. It's not always, you don't always feel like a genius. Sometimes you say you drop a play and you drop a plan and it's like you feel like a genius, right? You drop a trick play. Then sometimes you're sitting here feeling like an idiot. Like I feel like, what's going on right now? I don't know. My idea is not working. My ideas aren't playing out. But good thing my ideas don't have to work for me to make money all the time. So this fair value gap still holding on ES. I want to see this order block come in. I will love an entry here because we're showing clear rejection out of this level. Clear rejection off this level. Rejection. Very, very nice sign here. So if we continue, right, nice little entry, but also not going to force it, right? ES, again, a really nice entry. I wish I liked entering on ES because, like, this would be your entry here. Really clear target. I just don't like doing it, man. I just don't like doing it. I'm going to enter on paper here. On this, over here on the right, this right side that you can't see. Just paper, obviously. Let's see. Risking 500, make 1,000. Oh, you guys just can't see the middle one. That's kind of funny, but you can see this. Cool. We got filled like, let's see. Where did I get filled? We got filled at 60.50. Got filled right there. Cool. Stop at that low. Take profit those highs. I just don't trade ES, man. It just like scares me, dude. Something about ES is just like, I think I should be more scared of NQ because it's the way it manipulates you, but ES is just like, it's just too slow for my liking, man. Like I wanted to move. I want these tiny candles. People have been banking off gold, bro. I'm not gonna start switching to gold, but people have been banking off gold. Bro, I just gotta, advertisement in the email, man, is a good thing. Or they do good on those because I just got an email about Zaxby's, bro, and that sounds like a good smack right now, honestly. Yes, Zaxby's to watch some of the Champions League games later. It's also just because I don't eat breakfast, so I'm probably just like even more hungry. But like I said, man, I love making these live sessions because it's just this is the raw reality, right? Everyone makes these day trading videos, the raw reality of a day trader, but then they show you just them clubbing and driving their supercar and their model girlfriend. But this is the raw reality. It's a very boring job. It's a very very boring profession. It's a very boring, like when you try and do it at a high level, it's very boring. And a tricky thing is, and I'm doing well with it right now. I mentally definitely think I can walk away from today and just not even take another trade and just be down $40 today. I definitely could very easily be down $40 and just leave. But that's another tricky thing, dude. Sometimes you just don't want to step away on a loss, right? You're down, it's like, I don't want to stop today. I want to keep going. I'm not like in love with this entry anymore, but it still looks good enough that we get a solid close like here. I would risk 25 points, and I'd probably just take it all there, see how it's running to that point, but probably take it all there. Break even at this high. I don't really know what else I would want to do here. I like this look. See what the 2 minutes saying. 3 minute close here in 30 seconds. So if the 3 minute and the 1 minute close, I think I like an attempt here. Might just take it on these Alpha Futures accounts, but I like this a lot here. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is this, but the 3 minute lines up as well. Just give it a second here. Didn't close, right? No need to force. Did just soup the high. Yes, trade is running all right. Right, yes is moving for my entry, but not like insanely well. This would be an SMT I'm a little bit worried about because it should be a 15-minute gap. It's not. Why not? Oh, there's no 15-minute gap. Okay. This looks good, though. This looks like strong. We're rejecting. Strong candle. We're kind of disrespecting this bearish order block. Any next close above here would be strong. But again, I want to see a strong V shape. So we're going to give this a stab here. It's just not a strong close. I just want to see how we react right now because we either start dumping, right, or we start displacing above these highs. If we can get a push above here, I'll enter, but if we can't, I just don't want to get in here. This is just a rejection, right? This is a sweep of this high and a rejection. This is not an inversion. It's more of a rejection, so I'm not really, and we've been generating a little bit too much sell side liquidity that I'm not the biggest fan of. So I don't want to enter. I'm not going to ever enter an IFVG on a candle that closes below the previous candle. That just shows no momentum. But again, man, why I love this type of video is just this is the raw reality. I really want to see it leave this area of price in kind of in a hurry. I don't want to see it leave without me per se, but I definitely want to see it leave in more of a hurry. This is a really nice candle, but I need a closure above these highs. Above here on the 2 minute would be good. So this next minute is very important to me. I really like that. I don't want to enter yet because again we're just kind of souping these highs. I want to see a closure above here, maybe even this fair value gap, and then I go for it. That's unfortunate that it's doing that. Let's see if it souped it yet. We have SMT there now. I don't know what to make of that candle. Because this would be my entry, but I just don't know what to make of this wick. So I can't. I don't really think I can. This is my entry, and this is the hard part again with trades. So much discretion. This is my entry right here, but I don't know how I feel about that candle. I like that's my entry, but I don't like that candle at all. Like I wanted to see this right close above here, but this wick with putting the SMT, I'm just gonna just. But I don't really want to fade this trade. This is tricky. This is a tricky spot here. Give it a go. Just keep my stop kind of tight here. Probably go break even at these highs, even though we have a bad entry. All right, I'm break even there. I do want to just see this thing kind of run. ES is really close to the highs. It should just continue straight here. So when ES takes the high, I'm gonna actually just sell one manually. When ES takes the high, so I'm watching that. Yes, about to run the high. Take one off there because ES has made like equal highs. And let the runner go. We'll see what happens above here, because, right, I don't want to be too. I could have waited. I would have closed the trade. Let's see. I would have closed the trade, or half the trade. Right. Still just struggling. Okay, I would have closed half there, so I got the same fill. I'll make a decision at this high if I want to just close the position or close the trade. But who knows? Only reason I'd be willing to is just because yeah. But again, it kind of just shows you, right? You feel like an idiot all morning, and then boom, you look like a genius when it starts ripping. So I want to see ES continues through here. So we should get some speed higher now, even though we tagged the high. Probably gonna get stopped out here, but I'd want to see this fair value gap be aggressive. Exactly the reaction I'd want to see. Now it's got to continue. Alright, stop there. I mean, again, showing where ES is at. ES ran its full take profit. Again, like I said, this is a really nice entry in ES. I just don't enter in ES. And when it runs full take profit with SMT, I'm going to always close half position. We would have been stopped on the trade on break even, so it's good to partial like that, right? You might seem too aggressive, but I'm more than happy to do that. So we made back the small loss that we took, and we just didn't get a trade to run completely. I'll be looking to re-enter though, because this 5 minute did inverse right here. So a nice flip of this would be good, and then go break even at these swing highs. So this 30-second inversion. Because I do think that when we get this type of strong reaction up, that we're going to continue to follow through. But again, we already ran the high on ES, so you want to be a little more protective. We'll see if moving my stop at break even at all hurt me. Like I could have just had left my stop loss here, right? My stop loss was in the middle of this inversion, so it probably will have hurt me because I do expect us to keep going higher. But you never know, right? The SMT, you don't want to fade SMTs in a slow market. And today was one of those markets that was just really slow. So you don't want to fade this SMT at these highs here, at the 930 highs. These highs, right? Again, you don't want to fade this SMT very often. These highs around here. And here we came up, swept them. Same thing with these highs right here, right? We swept these highs on ES, nowhere near an NQ. Not always the best fade, to be honest. I'm tired, bro. Bro, why am I getting a Tropical Smoothie and a Buffalo Wild Wings email, bro? I don't want to spend my money on more food, man. Help us help you treat yourself. Enjoy 250 points when you spend $30. Nah. So yeah, we don't fade the SMT, man. Do not fade the SMT. I think I might call the trading day here, but 11's moved pretty well, so I don't want to write it off completely. But I'm pretty cool to just get out of here with no money. We waited for what we wanted to see. It didn't play out fully. Right, you could have entered here. Again, I go over why I didn't want to enter here and why I'd much rather enter here. Then I also talk about why this was my entry, but I didn't like it because of this wick. And I enter on this candle pressing up, and I'm willing to go break even aggressively. And I closed the trade aggressively, so today was just a tricky day for me to navigate. I did the best of my ability. I'm happy with my decision making, but this is a pretty like technically tricky market. And this is a pretty ugly range, so kind of just got to know when to step away, right? And know when to say, you know what, it's cool. I didn't make any money, but it's cool, right? Look at ES. This was a beautiful, beautiful trade on ES. I just don't trade ES. I traded on paper. You guys saw it hit 11 points. Beautiful trade. Just, I don't trade ES. $15 minutes holding. This is like one of those shorts that you take. Just momentum traders. Right, you just take something like this. See how that works. All right, let's see how it would work if I was just trying to momentum trade this. Leave this fair value gap as my stop loss. And then take profit just. Take profit just would be, okay, that would be break even a second. Try to hit like a 2R. Little 2 risk to reward here. So our stop loss will get moved to break even once we run through these lows. Again, paper, guys. So that would be moved to break even. I would trail this now to break even. And just want to see it kind of run through to a 2R. Probably won't. I mean, like, we just ran that low at S&T, but again, this is a choppy market. Like, all things considered, right? It doesn't really have much speed, doesn't really have much direction. It's just kind of going up and down. So that trade wouldn't have lost. It just wouldn't have really got you much. This is a really beautiful setup on ES. I wish I was an ES trader. Take a screenshot of this setup. Beautiful trade there. I just pause that to post that on Twitter. I don't know if I'd be curious in any longs anymore. It just kind of looks ugly now. Again, the 11 o'clock hour though has been cooking, which makes me want to just kind of sit on here for a little bit more. What I'm gonna do, I think, is just pause this recording and then come back if I see anything I like. But for the most part, I mean, oof. But for the most part, I think I'm just gonna say, you know what, it's been cool price action, right? We're done for the day. So done for the day is kind of where we're sitting, where we're expecting to be. See this 4 hour. It's just nothing's really jumping out at me, you know. Nothing's really screaming saying, hey man, this is what we gotta do. ES is still looking bullish though. But we did just resweep this internal high and just dump, so. I don't know, tricky one today, man. But yeah, gonna pause the stream or the video till further notice. I didn't think it'd be so soon. This kind of like makes me interested. But it's just a little bit like, feels like a chase at this point. But I'm gonna go for it here. I actually like this look. I'm gonna go 1 micro and add to this if we get the 5 minute. Maybe I just wait for the 5 minute. I don't know. This looks too good. I'm gonna add to if we get the 5 minute closure. I don't want to see us revisit down here. Break even at this internal high. I'll go in on the Apex accounts if we get this 5 minute. We could very well just flip this 5 minute very strong to the downside. That's why I'm going light risk. But it's my last real attempt at longs here today. If this doesn't really flip good, we should have really nice SMT. Want to see this candle flip here. Wish I got in down here. I just didn't see it. Let's look at my phone. I'll explain that break even. I'll explain this break even in a second. I just don't want to see it come down. If I'm going to be completely honest on that break even, I just think it shouldn't come down. We're just like, we'd be rejecting this and we'd probably crash through the 5 minutes. So, yeah, this is a break even really aggressively because I just don't want to see it come down, and I'm willing to enter full position on this 5 minute break on alone. So I just rather see it go straight up than have a nasty wick come down, reject this area. So that's my explanation. I don't have to explain myself. I mean, what is it called? I don't need anyone telling me, oh, you went break even too soon. No, this is my exact plan for this trade. I should have got in a lot earlier, so I want to protect myself if the 5 minute does end up holding really strong. I don't want to see the candle body lows get traded to in this move. I want to see it be aggressive and straight up. We have that IFVG as well in the 1 minute that I want to see hold and not get traded below. I want this to be a very efficient move. Wow, this will be crazy. Five minute wicked, so I want to see us now just push, obviously. I might just not even enter this trade with more size. Just let the thing do its thing. We're about to run here, I feel like. It could have one tick below this low. That'd be crazy. I want to see it kind of get a propulsion block here where we get another order block. So order block on top of order block, and then we should be off to the races. And at that point, we'll be looking good. I could have gotten in all the way down here, which would have been very, very nice. We could have gotten down here. So that's an extra 14 points. And just the break even would look impossible to get hit. Like right now, we're still very likely to get break evened. Again, more than likely we'll take profit above these highs, but just going to kind of monitor the trade on its own. Nothing you can do about it. This market is just not wanting to keep going. So 5 minutes rejecting, 5 minutes holding. I could have just gotten in. If I saw it live time, I could have gotten in here and we'd still be in this trade. Really, unless we just get this 5 minute on this candle here, I don't really love this trade. So we'd want to see this 5 minute come in and go, and we'd go for it here. As our last attempt, we go in full size, and we'd see. Let's see how many points the stop loss would be. Let's see. Put our stop here at this low. Yeah, so that would be our attempt for the day. If we got that, it'd be the 5 minute inversion. It'd be potentially the 3 minute as well. But it has to happen on this candle, otherwise it just looks like we're rejecting the 5 minute, and then I'd probably just call it a day done here. Again, exact reason why I went break even on this candle is because I'd want to see this keep going. Especially, I mean, we got edged on the break even, then went up. Like after this point and this candle, we should just continue higher. So I don't want to be participating in a move that's not going higher. And I got in late. I should have gotten in here. I literally just didn't see it in time. I was not staring directly at the chart. But we also, as you know, do what you want with this information. But we also had SMT here. I mean, this isn't the most like groundbreaking SMT of all time, but starting to get to that point in the day where it's just like, do we really want to keep trading today? Probably not. See what people are saying in the Discord. So we've been stopped out even on the best entry possible. There's like gold's dumping. Wow. Wow. Oh. Gold has been dumping, bro. If you got in at 9:30, let's see if there's an entry. Bro, you take this IFEG. I can't remember what gold's like pricing is, but you'd be up fat. I don't trade gold though, obviously. So trade it to the 5 minute. Let's just see, like, right? We could see the 5 minute hold. We could get a nice flip here on this next 5 minute. Still be up for that. So you just look like we're just in a range though. This is just a tricky day. I'll be careful here. Last macro, I'm willing to kind of trade. We'll see how the 1 o'clock, 11 hour opens. We just have all this liquidity. I expect to get ran. But, you know, sometimes you just got to have your expectations and realize sometimes you're not guaranteed. But I think I'll pause again. Pause again here so this video's not 2 hours. All right, we're getting nice. We're getting a nice push here. Like this looks like dream case with this 3-minute closure. Let's see when the 5-minute closes. 50 seconds. Oh yeah, this is a long. If we get a close on this order block, this is a long on all accounts. I think. We'll go 2 micros just because we don't need to increase too much here. We're not going to go break even until the swing high gets taken. I'd want to see it close here above that. But like this would be a textbook long. We're not getting it though. But even the 3-minute, as long as the 5-minute inverts, which it's about to. Right, if the 5-minute inverses, then we can look for the 3-minute entry. ES is looking to continue ripping. So the 5-minute inverse, now we need to see this 3-minute invert right here, and then get a strong push above here and close above. So this would be the entry. Stop loss would probably be like around here. I don't like this souping pattern, but yeah, strong close around here. It still looks very strong in my opinion. Would have liked the 3-minute to close there. Didn't want to. ES is the only thing I'm a little bit keep my eye on is ES just being at these highs right here. So I do want to keep my eye on that we are like at these highs. But then again, it's like ES is probably drawing towards the draws on liquidity for the day, if not. So we still have like valid reason to get in this move. It's just, dude, sometimes you just can't fight the rangy, choppy market though, and you just got to kind of surrender to it. I'm just a little bit skeptical on this. It's in the macro though. Again, we still haven't closed an order block here. It's just something feels weird today in the market. Looks so good though. Question is, would I enter this with Apex as well? This is where I'd want to enter. Give it a go. If we take this loss, we'll probably be done for the day. Break even at those highs. I'll get in with 1 micro here.
Order filled.
just preemptively do this, but I mean, I'll probably just scale it all off there if we can't even get up there. But I like this trade. Maybe even go break even at this internal, just because it could just reject there. Okay, I'm going break even the Apex accounts just because, yeah, I want to see it continue running here. And I might even just go break even here and call it a day. And call it a day. That's what we'll do. I'm cool with this. We're calling it a day on this trade here. And then just watch it play out if it does. Because ES is just ripping and running, and NQ is kind of just him hawing. So. Take profit there. On trade of 8, I think. 301. 301. Stops at the bottom of this candle on the trade of 8's accounts. Want to see it just rip up to the 301 level. About 10 points away there. That's another 20. That's $60 on the Apex accounts. That's pretty solid. How do you make $60 in minutes in real life, right?
Order filled.
So there we go. $150 on the day there. ES just ripped through. So I'm selling half. There, I'm just leaving break even. So we'll let this thing do its thing. Why did I close half? Well, because ES ran this high. I don't know if it's going to continue dumping or not, right? Last time we didn't fade the S&T and it paid off for us. So we secured a nice day. $50 across every account secured, and we have runners. So, yeah, really cool on that. This ended up being a nice, cool day. And you guys sleep on $50. You guys sleep on 1 micro, 2 micro. Be consistent with trading, man. That's how you make money, right? You make money by being consistent. Times that by 3, plus 50, plus 50. I mean, I made $260 today. Yes, I can't cash it out. Yes, it's not on my live account. Yes, you have to jump through the hoops of whatever. But how else are you making $260 in from a computer screen in what? I've been sitting here for an hour and a half. Fantastic job, right? I'm happy with that. So we just need 150 on the day. Again, we'll make our decision above these highs on what we're trying to do. So really happy with that though. Really, really happy with this day. Notice I take my profit at this body high. Look at the acceleration we had to this body high where we've been rejecting. Are we going to go up higher? Maybe, probably. But look at this, right? Why let it edge you take profit by 3 points? That's $6, right? That's nothing. Don't let it edge you like that. So super stoked on that. Again, a little dump there. And again, you would never hit your take profit if you're holding for the high market open. So, again, we're cool with any result here. We got our piece of the pie. Obviously, I would love to rip and run. But that's why you don't fade the SMTs, man. Especially in a market that's showing you that we're choppy on the day. Don't be fading these SMTs. Like, please don't be fading these SMTs. We could have done better today if we got in on this entry right here. Just left the stop loss. But who knows if we would have stopped the break even or not. This is where I'd expect price to kind of bounce right off this level here because we get a little pull off, a little relief, and then steamroll back up. But again, we took our profits, which is why I sold half, right? Because if I'm aiming for this as my take profit, if ES runs that first, I'm going to take half off, right? And if it goes up there and we would have missed out, we miss out, right? So who cares? This would be a very nice order block, though, to get to. And again, I'm just going to monitor this to see how we react to this high right here. If we get up there, right? But if not, this is day done. This is day done in this trade no matter what the outcome was going to be. We spotted the draws and liquidity well. We traded well. Happy with this day. This would be a really nice IFEG. Not a continuation long I really am the biggest fan of, but I don't like that this 5-minute gap is right here that we might trade, and then my stops are right on this order block, which is like, it just very well could just want to trade to that order block, but like realistically, we should just continue higher. If like we look at the market session right like this, right, just the regular trading hours, we just made equal highs with the high of day. I expect us to go higher at this point. Maybe we retrace deeper. Maybe we just like pull off the bottom and rip lower. I don't know, but I do expect higher because of that look, I guess. But I literally don't have to really keep this thing going. I'm gonna pause here and then I'll recap at the end of what happened. So I'll see you guys. All right, we got stopped to the tick. But I'm done. I'm done trading for the day. Obviously, is it a winning day? No, it's $50. It is technically on Apex, so we hit our $50. And we got some trades back onto this account. Building the buffer up again, trying to get back to that payout requirement, and we can just milk this prop firm for payouts. That's my goal, is to milk Apex. Use code Diego on Apex whenever the 90% drops. Run that code up or use it right now. My fund of futures code Diego as well. Obviously, they're a really, really good firm. I'm going to have to get off here before I see this inverse, and I'm going to want to slap longs. And then, Alpha Futures code Diego, take profit trade code Diego. Run up code Diego if you are looking to get more funding. And yeah, this is the raw reality of trading. Sometimes it's boring, sometimes you don't really know what's going on, and then boom, your setup appears. And what could we have done better today? We could avoid the first loss, but again, like I said, I don't really mind it. This trade here, we could have maybe entered here, but again, we went over why I didn't really like that entry, so I'm fine with the way I managed that trade. Again, this is the thing with trading. Just execute the way you want, do the things you want, right? I traded the way I wanted to today. I really did, and I'm more than happy with my performance and everything that happened today, and the way I managed my trades, my positions, my emotions, right? I'm very happy with today. So that's really all you can ask yourself, right? A lot of times I spend so much time trading, I get so frustrated with myself. Oh, I'm trading bad. I'm doing stupid stuff. I'm doing this, that, the other. Get back to what works, right? Trade with confidence, trade with skill, trade with logic, and you can't go wrong, right? You might lose, you might learn, right? What I learned from this, I literally missed this entry. This is a great entry. Nice little resweep, right? Order block inversion, right? You go break even here. You probably get stopped at break even. Maybe you take a profit. Who knows? But this trade was good as well, right? I mean, we read the market well. The market just didn't want to rip and run for us. ES wanted to deliver a lot more clean. But that's all good, right? That's just life, right? So even if you got in here, you wouldn't have been stopped at break even, and it ran all the targets. So that's tricky, man. It's always tricky to do this. But again, I'm always taking profits when ES runs this high and NQ doesn't. I'm always going to take profits and always go break even. So more than happy with that. Again, I probably need to turn off my charts before I see this inverse because that's a very free long. And maybe what I do here, is I just risk 1 micro. And we risk 20 points. But again, do I want to give up $50 on the day? I mean, just to get a third attempt, I would have to go break even at like these highs. I'd probably just leave it, right? I'm just going to leave it, right? So that's the day. That's kind of the recap, what we could have done better. But this isn't the easiest condition to trade. This is a pretty tough day to trade. But again, this is the raw reality. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes you don't know what's going on, like right through here. I don't know if I'm going to get a trade, right? We don't know if it's going to dump. Like, you don't know, right? Take your time. Be patient with the market. Let it do its thing. And, you'll get the results you want to see in the end. So I probably need to just not take this trade. I'm definitely not taking on the Apex at all. Like, those accounts have the $50 winning day, which doesn't matter, but I'm not going back in there. It's not worth it. And then these accounts are up 50, like clawing our way out or draw down on these accounts here. This one has about $1,000 of buffer. I don't need to force anything. I can just always come back another day, right? It's just Tuesday. So, yep, Code Diego, again, we've been chopping. It's not going to get better. I'm done for the day, just to show you guys, right, so that you don't wonder, right? We're done for the day. We're locked out. Cool with that. Again, don't discredit how much money $250 is. Don't discredit $250. Oh, my gosh, you only made $50. You only trade 2 micros, 1 micro. Brother, do you make $250 at your job every day? I don't. I do not make $250 every day. And even if you do you make it in an hour and a half? And again, I ask you this. Even if you do you get it in an hour and a half from pushing 1 button on your computer or 2 buttons on your computer? Right? Take it into perspective, right? Why do we do this? We don't do this for cars, watches, luxury. We do it for freedom. We do it for money, potential to earn. How many trading days are in the year? How many trading days are in the year? Let's see. 200 trading days. Let's just say that you made $50 a day. Calculate it. Right? And it's not going to be a sexy number, but $50 a day times that by 250, right? $12,000 a year, right? And that's not anything crazy. But times that by 5 accounts, $60,000. You're making full-time income. So it is harder, it's hard to make a full-time living trading. It's very difficult, but don't discredit what $50 means in an hour and a half, right? Because you're still working your job. Obviously, you're not retiring on $50 a day, but don't discredit it. That's how you start getting greedy. That's how you start going in over trading during the day. And I just go in with more and more trades, and then boom, I end the day down $300. So what do you rather? Be up $50 on each account or be down $300 on each account, right? You choose, right? You choose. Again, this would probably print, but I'm not going to take it because I'm satisfied with the day. Happy with the learning, happy with the improvements. Yeah, man. Shout out to all you guys. Love and appreciate everyone that tunes into the channel. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers at some point in the future. I don't know when that will be. Maybe next week, maybe a year from now, maybe 10 years from now. Who knows? But 10,000 subscribers is the goal I have in mind. Obviously, 100K is the real goal. But we will get there in the end. But like the video, subscribe if you haven't. If you watch these videos and you haven't subscribed, it's free. Hit the subscribe button. Helps me out. It pushes my channel a lot more and helps me grow. And that's cool. So, Code Diego and all the prop firms. You guys know the spiel. And yeah, let me know how you guys did today. Are you excited to be back into trading? Right. I don't know if you guys traded Monday. If your Project X was down. You guys lose money on that? I know a lot of people missed out on trades or took losses and stuff. How did you guys do? Let me know in the comments, man. I want to hear from you guys. It's been a while. It's only been like 3 days, but it feels like forever since I made a YouTube video. I'm glad to be back. And yeah, man, love and appreciate you guys. Tell somebody you love them, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.